Hello everyone. So is Linux gaming a thing for real? I mean, can you game on Linux without any kind of issues? Yes, you can. That's not the problem. Today we're gonna have a look on some of the options uh, that are more than adequate to play games. Basically, even I played a lot of games on my operating system, which is CahcyOS. And I didn't have any problem. I run in almost any kind of games. To be honest, I didn't find a game yet not to play. I've heard Destiny 2 is not working well, or actually it works, but the company said that if they find anybody playing on Linux, they'll close their accounts. Okay, good luck with that. I'm not playing Destiny anyway, but I'll circle back to that statement and how stupid and idiotic it is on its own. But let's get back to the operating system. So, what options do you have to play games on Linux? One of them would be CahcyOS. Out of the box, go ahead, download this part, handheld edition. There are two versions: desktop edition and then handheld. Well, the handheld basically installs everything you want for gaming: Steam, Proton, Winetricks, Lutris, Heroes, whatever. It's there. You install it, you run Steam, you play your game, no problem. You can install also Ubisoft things, you can install Battle.net, you can install a lot of stuff over Linux with those softwares in particular, and we're gonna talk about it in a moment. So that's one of the options. Another option is Garuda Linux. This is as well a distribution which out of the box offers lots and lots of options for players. Basically, games do work out of the box as well, in the exact same manner as as the CahcyOS have. You go and install, automatically they install for you all the required services for the gaming, Steam, included. So go ahead, test it, see if you like it more than CahcyOS. Nobara, again, this distribution is also made ready gaming in the same direction that CahcyOS and Garuda does it. Go ahead, install it, see what they offer. By the way, all of them come with Nvidia drivers ready, and of course also, as far as I'm concerned, I think AMD by default. Bazzite is another one, which thank you, by the way, to one of our subscribers in the channel who went ahead and provided a comment. Hey, why not try Bazzite, because this is for gaming as well, and I was not aware of. So thank you so much. Yeah, as I was saying, this one is ready for games. As you can see, people are playing lots of stuff on Legion laptops, Steam Desk. You have it. All of your favorite devices. They also have a compatibility list of hardware. So devices and desktop, that's no problem. Feel free to install it on handheld devices, basically like game consoles, stuff like that, or just install it directly on your PC. I like it. I think I'm gonna give it a try soon, see how this works. It has beautiful interface, and it's basically literally made for gaming. Like, anyway, the other ones as well. I think the only difference now is like potatoes. It's a question of just how they present the interface, but they kind of all do the same. However, I know I'm repeating myself. This is the beautiful part of Linux community. You don't have to stick with one operating system like macOS and Windows does it, and you have no choice of customization whatsoever. or maybe you don't like the performance, so you find something better. That's the reason for which you are here. So Bazzite is another option. You also have DraugerOS or DraugerOS. I apologize if I didn't spell it correctly, but again, this is another distribution good for gaming. You can read some stuff here. Why is this good for you? What is it based on? Like Ubuntu based Linux, and they come out of the box with um, built-in house replacements for pulse audio and pipewire. So maybe they have a better versioning support out of the box for the audio codecs and video codecs and so forth. Go ahead, have a look, see about the requirements on the download section, and I don't know, hopefully this works for you. Of course, I think some of you might have these questions already back in your mind, but at the end of the day, why would I choose one against the other? Well, as I said, for once, it's a question of how they present things and how it looks, because some people like the looks, which is important. I mean, a lot of us like to have different UI based on our own style. So that would be one of the things. The second is, depending on your hardware, you may have a very powerful computer. Other people may have lower specifications. But Linux in general makes even lower PCs to perform better than Windows ever did, or macOS if you're on OS X or on Apple products. And then you choose and test one of these things. I'm sorry, one of these distributions, and see which one performs better on your machine and your specifications. Again, I know I'm repeating myself, but that's the beauty of Linux. And that's why we present these things. I know I was a beginner user a few years back, and I was like, Jesus, where am I going to install, man? And eventually I just installed different things. Like I installed Ubuntu for gaming, I installed Fedora and other parts. And eventually I ended up installing CahcyOS, and I was very happy. At some point in time, probably I may install a different version of Linux just to test and see what's happening. But anyway, getting forward. Now, Lakka, this is another interesting one which I found it. What happened is, exactly as I was saying a minute ago, if you have a low-end specification computer, instead of throwing that computer, why not make out of it a console, a gaming console for older games? Literally, you can also run it on a very small form factor PC like Raspberry Pi. You can play all those games like Invaders, Space Invaders, because I think that's what this tiny little character is from. So go ahead, see what is this about, what it does. So I think they have here I clicked, yes, get Lakka, some disclaimer. But let me see if I find something. LakkaOS. Yeah, that's the one. So that's what you do. Install it, as I said, and then you can, game some things over it. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't see some options where people do present what games they installed. But then again, I said that's what Lakka does. It's just, put some games on on some small devices. So if you have an older computer, this is just as good. Install it, see what games then you can run, and what you can do with it. Now, last option would be SteamOS. SteamOS has been developed by Valve, which they have the Steam store, which everybody knows already. It's a valid option. I've used it in the past. I was not very happy with it. I think they might eventually stop developing or doing some kind of different integration. For example, now Valve just spoke with Arch Linux community to form a partnership and develop further better integration and support for gaming on Linux out of the box. So that's a good thing, but you can try SteamOS as well. Again, see how this works. Maybe you like it. Maybe you just want to open your computer and it just launches Steam by default for you with their interface and whatever they have to play on your TV. And then see if that works for you. I just wanted to mention for you to know things. Now, what about the others? Like Ubuntu, Fedora, Zorin OS, and other operating systems. Of course, you can game in there as well. Actually, I had Zorin OS on this machine a week and a half ago, probably two. And I tested some games and actually worked very nice. But I had to also install a few extra software. For example, because this is a screenshot which I got from Garuda. So you can see here, they have all these things installed by default. CahcyOS have it, Garuda Linux comes with it, Nobara does, Bazzite as well, DraugerOS. All of this kind of install all these things as well for you. But I just found this all together in just one package, so I said, why not show it to you? So when you're going to install the operating system, they're going to install the Steam runtime and native, because you can use one or the other. It's best to go for runtime. And then you can find many other stuff, like each you have simulators for older games. You have the Game Hub. Now you have tools like Lutris and Heroic Games, Wine, and Bottles on Play on Linux. And these all tools form an ecosystem that helps run native Windows games directly on your Linux OS, including the emulation for Nintendo games and other kind of simulators, which is pretty awesome. Not to mention console games. So this is how things work. In case of you don't have this installed because you installed Ubuntu or I don't know what other distribution of Linux, then go ahead and install yourself all these things. Install first Wine, then Bodos, then install Play on Linux, install Lutris, Heroics, install Winetrix, QWine, DXVK, and these two things as well, and probably also Boxtron for simulation. But another mention is, yeah, I said Play on Linux that I already mentioned. So we know you have it, you can install it. It's running also application, not only games, just bear that in mind. Another one worth mentioning is Proton Plus. Go ahead and install it as well, because Proton Plus kind of it's a good manager to, actually, you know what? Proton Plus, because I have it as well. You see, it manages some of the game engines and compatibility modes depending on where am I running. For example, in the system, I have Proton GE compatibility. I can download whatever number of compatibility I want to run. You see, they have a lot of engines which you can use, but that's another topic. Feel free to go about it. Actually, I strongly recommend to invest time and also install this piece of software. It will really help you on the long run, running games properly on Linux. This is another word mention, Ryujinx. That's what it's called here, Ryujinx. It's a good emulator for Nintendo Switch. It runs on your Linux machine. So feel free to go ahead and plan it. Now, I'm going to go a bit into this part. Is this, I'm sorry, this is a good, I just searched something before that. This is a good site, and I strongly recommend you should use it as well, just to convince yourself that Linux gaming is a reality. It was for many years, but I'm pretty much sure you know why you didn't heard about this, right? If you want to see what is the compatibility with your games, you either go here and see Explore, and then you have some filter like, popular, release date, ProtonDB rating to see how, well things run on your machine, or different other filters, user score, wherever. But if I scroll to the bottom, I can see it's one result out of 1000. Now, ProtonDB is really good, but remember in the past video, I was telling you that Steam already houses more than 3000 games. Probably at this point in time, we're talking about, probably close to 4000, I think, because that was a pretty old article. So they have thousands and thousands of games, and the library only gets larger. So it's a good thing to go about here and say, hey, well, can I run a certain game like Skyrim? Can I play Skyrim? And it says, okay, gold. Runs perfectly after certain tweaks. I think now out of the box with Steam, I think it runs okay. Assassin's Creed Odyssey, does it work? I'm telling you it works because, again, I'm using this one. I was using Lutris and Heroic Games to run Ubisoft Connect. Watch some of my other videos. You'll see what I'm talking about. So you can come in here and say, okay, this works, man. It actually works. PC, Steam Deck, that's no problem. Here says it was natively supported by Windows, but then again, you can play it also on other, on other parts like Steam Deck, and people say, hey, this is working, this is not working, kind of nice. Some people have some problems, but in generally, I'm telling you, it works. So if you want to search for a very specific game, like, I don't know, Diablo, as I was saying a bit earlier, look, even here, Diablo 4 actually does work. I did test it on my machine. It was working, so I'm not sure why it's downtrending, but it seems it's working. So that's one of the things. I don't know where else can I find, like, all of thanks. I'm pretty much sure this works because I do play this game on my machine as well. So we have this kind of option, right? But let me go back a bit to Steam, which I already have opened here. This is the Steam software that I'm running on my machine. So if you go to directly to the store, you go to categories and you go to SteamOS Linux. You click on this one, and then you will see here lots and lots and lots of titles. So that's one of the things you can also do in SteamOS. So you can check out, hey, what games are running? Oh, I see, it's this one or that one. Dota works, Counter-Strike works, Factorio works. And as I showed you, lots and lots and lots of other interesting games. What's this? Because this looks interesting. I don't know, somebody plays, but it's an interesting 2D small game. Action RPG. Yes. You know what? I'll just add to my wish list. That's no problem. So anyway, getting back to this stuff, right? For example, if I click on Red Dead Redemption, or let me do it differently. I want to go to my library. I want to maybe check out a different game, right? So let's say I want to play this one. I'm going to go to the store page. So I wanted to show something. So you see here, it says only Windows. However, I already did mention before, if you go to settings, you have something that's called compatibility. You turn this on, you select whatever Proton Experimental or Proton 9.0 or whatever it's going to say here. In my case, it says Proton CahcyOS native package. In your case, might be Ubuntu or Nobara or something like that. So choose one of those three. The experimental, as it says, it is experimental because they're pushing constant changes to it, so it might be unstable a bit. But you do that. And then, technically, if I hit the play button, it should launch the game without any kind of issues. In my case, let's see. Your World of Tanks. Yeah, it does. So technically should work. Sometimes there are some problems with the servers you cannot reach because this is an online game. For example, 2 days ago, I was trying to play. I just didn't want to connect for certain reasons, but now it seems it's working, right? So we know we can launch this game. How about this one, which I also play, Path of Exile? Pretty much the same story. CahcyOS is running on Mac and Windows, but again, it does actually work. So I'm gonna launch it. I used this game before as a demo. Again, it's not because it's easy load. It is a very well designed and developed game, but it's insane how many 3D effects and all this stuff they kind of have in this game, right? Despite the fact that I do have a 3060 RTX gaming card, I like to cap the frame rate to the screen refresh rate, which in my case is 60 FPS. So as you can see here, I mean, it doesn't even budge. How about let's try getting a bit into a level. In case if you don't hear the sound from within the game, is because I disabled it. So I just wanted to show you the visuals and see how this actually performs on this insane game, which has tons and tons of effects. And this is on Linux. So the game does a very good job to approximate stuff and keep up with the frame rate. I don't see any kind of issues whatsoever. I'm very happy. I'm gonna put some more stuff in here. So yeah, it's definitely working. And I think with this, we can say for sure, hey, gaming on Linux, it is a thing. What really bothers me, to be honest, is like I see in a lot of Linux dedicated channels, and surprisingly, those ones who have something like beyond 300,000 people or more watching them, and they have this kind of articles or maybe headlines within their videos. Should you be gaming on Linux? Is Linux ready for a game? Maybe you should think about it. What the heck, man? You are making money and you're making your life career a Linux stuff. Why would you bullshit people when you know it's actually working? But I've also seen a couple of Linux people who have small channels trying to defend this, and they had the same exact conclusion. I mean, dude, why the hell would you say something like that? Because this is what's really, again, putting people in a panic. Like maybe you should not game. Is it ready for gaming? It's like you're presenting two cups, one with poison and the other with water, and then the question is, should you be, drinking the water? Like that's exactly Windows versus Linux at this point in time. Really? Come on. Maybe the poison has a bit more flavor. It tastes nice, but in the end of the day, it's freaking poison. That's how I think about the operating system that is run by micro dudes. So there you go, my friends. Works. Do not be afraid. Install Linux today. Be free of the shackles of never-ending spyware installed on your machine. And not to mention, look at this. I have to show you this. No, it's system. What the heck? System monitor. I mean, look at this again. 13 gigabytes of RAM, given the fact that I'm recording this video and I'm also playing a game. When did you last time see this in Windows? I was always saying like 18, 20 gigabytes, 25 on Windows constantly if I was gaming or recording or doing this kind of shit. To be honest, I think it makes no sense for you to stick around with Windows any longer. Just install Linux and you're done with it. That is, my friend. I hope you enjoyed this game as well. I'm sorry, this episode. Maybe enjoy some other games. Please do watch some of my other content, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.